Hey, how's it going, guys? Got another knife review for you. Thank you so much to Young's Backpacking for hosting this review. What you're looking at here is the Spyderco Endura, which has pretty much been a mainstay in the Spyderco line. This is a pretty popular knife. This particular version, if you'll notice, is the FRN version, which I actually prefer to the stainless steel version just because it's a little bit lighter and it feels warmer in hand than the steel version. Now, one thing I really like is the pocket clip, which is excellently made. No big surprise because it's from Spyderco. But also, if you look, this knife handle has been drilled and tapped in all four positions, so you can carry it left or right, tip up or tip down. That's great. Cool thing for people who like to carry tip down is, if you look here, that knife clip goes all the way to the top, so this knife will ride almost completely in your pocket. For the people who like tip up, like myself though, not as fun. Just because if you look here, it's because of this pin, it doesn't ride all the way, so you're going to have a little bit sticking out. Still rides pretty deep compared to most knives, but really wish they could have put it all the way to the top so I could let the knife ride even deeper inside. But that's no big, huge deal. They did a really good job here for the fact that they gave you that option. Another thing that I kind of want to pick is for the hinge for the knife itself, it's pinned in. Would have liked a torque screw here just so that I could adjust it, just because over time I'm afraid the knife might get loose and have a little bit of play from like heavy use. Would have liked a torque screw here. If you notice here, there's a Boyd detent on the back here of the locking blade. Now, the reason for that is because this is a lockback design. Opening this knife, a lot of people are afraid that when I grip this knife really tightly, you might accidentally depress this and disengage the locking mechanism. I don't feel that's a big deal. I don't feel like it'll ever happen, but it's just a nice little feature to add. Most people think it's to actually make it easier to press. It's not. It's so that you don't accidentally disengage the locking style mechanism of this knife. The blade itself is 3 3/4 of an inch in length, and the actual cutting edge is 3 7/16 of an inch in length, and the blade itself is 1/8 of an inch thick. It's made out of VG10, which is excellent high quality steel, and this particular knife is from Seki City, Japan, which is well known for making high quality knives. This particular version is fully serrated just because I think somebody has dibs on this knife. I think it's an emergency person who's going to be using this for like cutting seatbelts and stuff, hence why it's completely serrated for utility use of cutting through cordage and clothes and stuff like that. The handle itself is very ergonomic. You have this nice little sweep choil area right here in the back so that my finger can lock in and it doesn't feel like I'm going to slip forward onto the blade area. And while we're talking about ergonomics, check out this thumb ramp. This thumb ramp is aggressive. Look how high it raises. Plus, it has Spyderco jimping, and Spyderco jimping is pretty much the industry standard just because it is so aggressive and it locks in your fingers so well. Once I have my hand locked in and I have my thumb on the back of the blade, I have no fear of my hand ever slipping onto the blade area of this thing. Just locks in so solidly. I have yet to see a blade that has this kind of a thumb ramp on it, and it feels nice. Feels great. Feels like it's a part of my hand when I'm holding onto it. Now, this blade is a little bit larger and a little bit heavier than I'm used to for everyday carry knives. This thing is, overall length is 8 3/4 of an inch in length, and it weighs 3.6 ounces, so a little bit bigger than most everyday carry knives. But for those of you who are looking for something a little bit more heavy duty, you might want to give this thing a shot. It's a nice functional blade, great steel, very ergonomic, and it's a Spyderco, so you can't really go wrong. I've yet to have something from Spyderco's regular line of lives get a bad review from people. They're just made to last, and it's very ergonomic. So that's my little review of the Spyderco Endura. Oh, by the way, while I'm talking about that, let me just give you a look at the locking mechanism. Right there's the tension bar right there inside. Then the locking mechanism rocks on this pin, and then you get the resistance from the tension bar, and it locks onto the blade right here, like so. And as you can see, there is a generous ricasso underneath the blade, which means you can close this one-handed. Some people don't like lockbacks just because they think that you can't close it one-handed. In this particular example, you can. Because of this generous ricasso, I can disengage the lock with my thumb, flick it forward, and as you can see, the ricasso catches on my finger and I'm not getting cut by the blade area. And then I can shift my grip a little bit. I can close it one-handed. Just show it to you again. Flick it forward, catches on the ricasso, shift my grip, and it closes great. So, great knife, great steel, ergonomic, and easy to use. And you have the option of carrying it any way you want. This particular example retails for about, let's see, $79 at Young's. If you have any more questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Other than that, that's my review of the Spyderco Endura. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day. Hi again, guys. I know I talked about the Spyderco Endura and I said that I prefer the FRN version, but they happen to have the stainless steel version lying around, so I just wanted to give you a close look of that guy. Basically, I don't have the specs with me. I'll put the specs for the stainless steel version in the annotations bar, but just wanted to give you a nice look. This thing is super solid. It's a lot heavier than the FRN version of the Endura, but in return for that, it feels rock solid. I mean, I don't think this thing's going to fall apart anytime soon. Nice thing though, they still kept the drilling and tapping for the pocket clip for all four corners, so you still have the option of mounting it however ways you want. The measurements are pretty much exactly the same except for weight, so if you're used to the FRN version, you're going to have no problem with the stainless steel version in terms of like ergonomics. Functions just like the regular version. Just wanted to give you guys a look what this guy looks like, and this knife is brand new. Just wanted to let you see what this guy was like. Feels exactly the same. Great jimping, locks in solidly in your hand, feels very comfortable. You just have a little bit more weight because of the stainless steel handle scales. Treat it just the same, and yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to give you guys a look at this thing.